So that's why the coaches, I think, are really important. They're more level-headed probably. They watched it from outside the booth. They got to see all the things that when you're playing these games, you're like, you don't see everything that's happening in the same way as somebody from the outside does. So I think it's really important for both teams. Of course, OG are feeling really happy after that win, but they probably still need to cool down and get down to earth, because they could also make the same mistake of being overconfident in something.
The crowd cheering on with OG as they finish their huddle in the booth. We've talked a lot about those outside resources, right? The coaches and even the captains and how they rally around the team. And I think, obviously, PSG.LGD perhaps needing that a little bit more after such a tough loss in Game 4.
Yeah, I mean...
What did you do after the loss like that, Black?
After a loss like that...
I know you had a lot of them.
Yeah, well, I never went to Game 5 in the first place.
Not quite the same, huh?
No, but like if you lose like that, it's rough. Usually, it's best if you have an outside person to talk to you, because everyone in the team is probably very emotional, like all 5 of the players. So hopefully the coach managed to like calm them down a little bit, because they're gonna need 100%. Like 95% won't cut it anymore. Have to play all they have on the table.
Just slam down on. Don't break our battle yet. The show has one more game to go.
You know, at this point, actually, I think you can go for it.
All right. Well, we'll think about it.
It's a pretty good condition still. So.
Of course, I mean, we saw that here, too, as we've had the coach interviews, right? Both 357 and Paracel going, you know, kind of being lighthearted as they come out, still being able to keep that calm. And I think over the years as well, as we've gotten more insight into teams and how they function, it's been very clear that in the middle of a series, teams are still able to regroup around coaches or managers or other kind of resources they have. But now it's one single game. You have to put everything on the line between these two teams. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready for the last game of TI8. One last draft, one last game. And then we will have a new champion, a new team walking up to the Aegis to lift it up here in Vancouver. You see OG still running through the last details. No Tail and Seb having a little bit of a conversation back and forth. Of course, as we've discussed on the PSG.LGD side, 357, the coach will be kind of managing and leading the draft almost entirely on his own.
What do you think they're talking about?
OG.
Yeah.
Well played, man.
Well played. I don't know.
Well played, man.
I think they had enough time.
Yeah, 10 minutes after. Like, by the way, well played. Didn't quite get to tell you that during the last game. I mean, what do you talk about when it's like this? When you know it's one game left, right? It's not about, hey, just win one more game and then another. This is literally now back to being a best of one in either scenario.
I think you talk about your openers and your overall strategy, and just like if there's anything from the last game that you really hated, things that you don't want to play against, or things that you really liked. I mean, some players, of course, maybe you get a little bit shook. You lose some game on a hero, even if it's one of your favorites. Perhaps you just don't feel like the confidence on it that you might need.
Black just looks at me and laughs. Like, I don't know what.
God, you guys are so useful.
I don't know what to do anymore with this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the good news is the draft is about to get underway. So Rogers Arena, give it up as we face the last game of the grand final at the International.
PSG.LGD versus OG. Grand Finals Game 5.
Game 5, one last game. One game in between either of these teams and the Aegis. OG versus PSG.LGD. And it looks like OG will have the second pick, PSG.LGD having that first pick. As we go through the bands of the Spectre Man and Tiny Man, quite familiar by now in this best of 5.
So before we get into the bands and picks too much here, I want to quickly talk about how I feel like in some way when you look at these two teams, if you remember, OG have been in this situation before with both No Tail and Ana. They had a similar situation with OG at the Kiev Major, I think it was, when they made a ridiculous comeback against Virtus Pro in, I believe that was a Game 5
Game
as well.
5, yep.
I think, was that a reverse sweep, actually? I don't remember entirely how that series went down. I think VP were up 2-0 and OG took 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
Or something. That's how I remember it anyway. So they have that mentality, and I think it's incredible to see Ana, who was out of the scene for a bit. He took a break for personal reasons. He comes back and is like he was never gone.
Yep.
In these high-pressure matches, this guy just delivers.
And look at the respect there from PSG.LGD.
Yeah.
How many late game heroes can this guy play? Well, they're looking to find one more.
OG are laughing.
Yeah, I don't blame them. 'Cause think about what's being opened up here now, right? Like that Weaver, one of the most important heroes in the game right now, I would say.
Now that Lancer's banned out, OG's response compared to last game is they banned the Drow, because now both of the counterpick carries that you will generally see against the Drow Ranger, both Spectre and PL, are out of the pool.
Yeah, and despite her not really making an appearance here, you can see very level-headed drafting too.
Yeah.
Just like keeping that on your mind.
What are we expecting from Ana then? Most of his wins are on Spectre or PL. What is that kid?
Morphling,
Morphling,
They could IO Gyro if that ends.
IO Gyro, yeah.
last game Ember. Let's go.
Last game Ember.
Finally, the people
They're
that
not getting IO Gyro though. I'm pretty convinced that LGD will grab the IO if it's in the pool.
I think Ember is not the right hero for Ana in a 5th game in a grand final like this. He's usually the game closer, and Ember is more like the enabler for another hero to close out the game. So
Well,
I
if
hope
the games
surprises
keep
us.
going 60 minutes, Black, then Ember is a pretty good late game hero.
fair enough, fair enough.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. So I think Morphling is definitely a hero to look out for. As we've seen both teams play it, OG play it in 2 lanes. They will ban the IO. So I think this could be a first pick Venge, or maybe they steal the Chen. X-Nova
The
does.
Earthshaker, I was going to ask. I
Shaker's
mean,
in.
it's still in
Oh,
this
yeah.
time, and now we see PSG.LGD
True.
taking it first.
Do we go back for things like this Wraith King Willow? I do think it's very strong.
Isn't the game just over?
I mean, so far, if stats don't lie, the game is over here because of that Earthshaker, of course, played an integral part in the past couple matches.
This time, however, LGD will not be getting it with their Enchantress, because they banned that themselves. So
That's true.
What about something like a Silencer? To
Oh, that's
purpose
true. Yeah, the
combo?
Silencer goes through again as well.
Silencer will more than likely be grabbed for no-tail in this game,
Yeah.
unless he wants his Chen. He needs to make up his mind here. I think he might be thinking Chen isn't the ideal solution, just because Shaker can kind of counteract the early aggression against that hero. Oh, the Furon's in too.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
this has been bad.
There are so many heroes that got through now.
Yeah, because they focused on that late game against Ana. Now No Tail's hero pool was wide open. The Nature's Prophet coming in.
7-0 on the
That's-
Earthshaker.
The numbers are starting to point in one direction.
7-0. Could it be 8-0?
8-0.
Lucky number TI8.
Oh,
Everything's lining up here.
7-1 combo breaker in the final.
Possible.
Then they would have the same win rate. Jarek's is 7-1 on Shaker.
That is true. So many storylines in this draft alone. Well, with the Nature's Prophet, are we still thinking about some of the heroes we mentioned earlier that are still left open because of this, right? Because of these unique bans that are now coming out.
Silencer is definitely still one to look out for. I think LGD will want to grab that pick. It's also pretty good against Nature's Prophet, in my opinion.
Oh.
Rubik.
That is very surprising.
That is
All right, but this makes
We
sense
can
with
play
the Prophet,
Shaker,
though.
too.
Yeah,
If you guys play Shaker, we
There
play
you go.
Shaker.
PL, Shaker. But this is the Nature's Prophet, right? It's just like the Enchantress, the exact same impact.
But now, listen, LGD will pick Morphling.
What about
He will
Weaver?
take Morph target's allies, and then they will have 2 Shakers.
Which is better than one Shaker.
Then they win 2-1.
Okay, fair.
The battle
Just
of the
wait
Shakers.
until it happens.
Thank you
Just
for
wait.
pointing
All
that out.
right.
Just wait until it happens.
But yeah, the Weaver still being in, I think that's pretty strong, right? Because they want this Nature's Prophet because he's a bully in the lane. That means you can get away with someone who's a little bit weaker, like this Rubik. So you want someone who's strong enough to sustain these bully lanes. Weaver or Clinks, which is something that's been missing, and LGD played exceptionally well with that Earthshaker throughout the tournament with.
Yeah, true.
That's if they plan to
Rubik
pick the
is-
core early.
Rubik's good against Weaver, too, though. You give him an extra,
that's true.
an extra good opponent to steal from.
Hasn't
Just a
worked
good-
out too well for the teams that picked the Rubik into the Weaver.
I think Rubik generally just has a bad win rate.
Yeah.
I would say. So.
Earthshaker's finally figured it out.
He's just baiting the crowd.
He's waiting.
He's changing his mind all the time. All right.
The Terror Blade.
Terror Blade. That's
Wow.
super early for a Terror Blade, too.
Yeah, well, there's not that many late game heroes that the teams play, so might as well grab it early here for LGD.
Okay, so what's for Ana? You said Morphling?
Morphling. They're going to ban Morph, I would think, but maybe not, actually.
I think it's, like, from a carry's perspective, I think it's very scary to play Morphling against a Shaker. Because you always want to be somewhat low health, and if you ever jump to, you just die immediately. If you don't have a combo breaker.
Same thing
The
for
matchup
Ember.
against Terrorblade is good, though, right?
Morph against Terror Blade?
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's good.
It's a good
Before it
match.
was
Because
pretty
you just
bad,
get
but
meta and you turn back into Morphling.
Yeah, and you also get Reflection when you turn into
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's a pretty good
Matchup
pretty
is good.
version.
Just the
this Shaker is
instant stun is
actually-
very Shaker.
I think it's gonna be hard to find a carry where you're like, this carry is great against Shaker. It's
Yeah.
part of the
not-
strength of the heroes. Having an instant stun is just amazing. And having a stun that can catch from fog, so you're never really safe, is also amazing.
The only way
So-
to really survive it is if you're tanky enough, which most hard carries are not.
And you don't want to pick Wraith King into Terrorblade. That would be a
no.
tanky carry.
Yeah, or
but we haven't
Lifestealer.
seen Ana
Yeah.
play it.
Makes
Yeah,
no
nobody plays Lifesteal Black.
That
Don't
is
even
true.
suggest it. It's not a hero,
Sorry.
especially into Terrorblade.
Especially the terrible. Yeah.
Come
Arc
on,
out,
Black.
partner out.
Come on, man.
Sorry, dude.
Arc Warden would have been another pick OG could have gone for.
That
Yeah,
would have been
that's
their
true.
double Necro strat possibly again too, right? With
Right.
the bubbles versus the Terrorblade. Seem to thoroughly enjoy that. I like OG banning out the Storm Spirit. I think that is something that they probably were going to look for. Again, just mega comfort pick, just like the Terrorblade for LGD, and someone who can go around that map and stop and just kind of feed off of this Nature's Prophet trying to split push.
What about the Thompson Zeus this game? Good against Shaker,
True.
good against Terrorblade.
Okay.
Definitely a hero to look out for.
And Storm is banned out, of course.
Yeah,
So
Zeus
jumping on
could
him is
end
gonna
up
be
being
hard.
really good. They also have the Nature's Prophet, so they have a bit of a global strat going on. Could definitely see
And
that being
Rubik
a nice
to also amplify the spell damage that comes
Yep.
out of him.
Do you think your lanes will be strong enough though?
It depends what
Definitely.
you.
I mean, Zeus mid is not weak, right? He's very strong now with like the 70 damage over 1. It's like
Yeah.
He
quite
does
good.
well in quite a few matchups nowadays.
Yeah.
He's not really that much of a lane winner, except mainly against melee mids that we don't really see too many of.
Yeah.
So another hero that maybe OG could look toward here would be an Alchemist for Ana. We haven't really seen him play it that much, but he used to play that back in OG as well, in the old OG. Back in OG.
Back in
That was
OG.
the Kiev Major, right? It was the
Yep.
Alchemist that.
Alchemist was definitely
Every
a hero.
game.
But Terrorblade has a pretty good matchup against Alchemist.
Yeah.
He's one of the tankier ones against Shaker, though. So
They usually use, like people take Alk, you can send the Terrorblade mid because he's like so much armor that you don't even care about the assets.
Sure.
for it.
They banned
they,
Alchemist.
they banned
Oh,
Alchemist.
okay.
I think OG feels very uncomfortable if they do not have the better late game. So if they were to pick like an Alchemist, Magnus, there we
That's
go
one
with the
way to
late
compare
game.
the late game.
So
Yeah.
this is a
There we go with the
no-tail.
late game.
This is going to be a no-tail Prophet then and not Seb. Jerax on the Rubik
Yeah.
and Seb on his Magnus.
The lanes look
Oh.
pretty weak right now, though. Like Rubik lane is not very strong, and the Magnus lane itself is also not very strong.
Oh.
Something that I've noticed that OG like to do when they have the Magnus is they like to play this 1-2 off lane where they both have wave clear and they just push the wave.
Yeah.
They cast their nukes on both heroes, they drain their regen, and then they try to out-farm. So they have both Shockwave and Fade Bolt.
And they always get a ranged hero too to use the
Yeah.
Empower because it's more abusive in the lane. It's not as good for cleave and creeps and everything, but you just get this bonus damage, you harass.
Yeah.
And they could potentially do it with like the Rubik and the Magnus, and then when Prophet's ready, he just TP's in it and that tower's just gone.
They can
Very
overwhelm
quick
the safe
sweep
lane.
of the lane.
Yeah.
They do
And-
lack a lot of damage right now, though.
Yeah,
Well-
but Silencer is no D-push, and neither is Earthshaker in the laning phase.
Yeah, there's going to be some wave clear for LGD's next picks for sure. But I do want to say, even though they don't have the most physical damage, still sustained magic harassment is actually pretty annoying for Terrorblade to deal with in lane. That's the one
Yeah.
thing. He has low health pool but has high armor.
It's actually worse for
So,
him.
yeah.
There it is.
Oh.
The
Go
counter.
for the Ember.
Okay, but you're
Alright.
playing against Silencer and Earthshaker. That's pretty bold.
That hasn't stopped
bold.
Ana before.
It's true.
So it's Anna Ember confirmed 100%.
It could be Thompson still, but I think Ana is just, he's better on the hero. So it depends on what they think is the greater good in the end when they look at all the possible lane matchups they can get. Who's their place on it?
So this is physical Ember for sure, right? Having a Magnus.
Most
more than likely.
You can go a hybrid build. So what OG did a lot in the European qualifiers when they had Mag Ember was that Ember went to Maelstrom first, and then they had this really nice mix of damage where you're empowered, so you have a lot of physical damage. You get a 25 damage talent on level 10, and then you have the Maelstrom for faster wave clear and mixed damage type in fights, and then late game you can choose. You can go either direction when you go Maelstrom first. So definitely think that is a solid choice here. I mean, I'm really happy we get to see an Ember Spirit in this last game from OG. I think this is the perfect hero to go out on, win or lose.
I really
This
hope they
is-
put it middle, though. Personally, I feel Ember is very strong against Kunkka in the lane. Also, in the game, it's very hard to catch him. Like, when we played the C qualifier, whenever we saw Kunkka, we immediately snatched an Ember to lane against it. Just he can't remove your Flame Guard at all.
Right.
And it's very easy to actually kill him. And
Now-
it's very hard for him to kill you.
A lot of teams will put the Earthshaker mid versus the Ember, right? And try and abuse that.
And then the
That
support
Probably not
Kunkka.
going to happen
happen
here
this
in
game.
Game 5, I'm
No.
thinking, but
I mean, FY Shaker is
Virtus
pretty good. You don't want to give a
I think I still have a feeling that if this is a Kunkka versus Ember matchup mid, the Kunkka is going to win because I think the SCA qualifier that you think back to was Kunkka in the same state that he is now with the damage on Tidebringer and denies.
Yep.
yeah, he was
It was the
just
same
fine.
one. It's just like
I have
2 months
a
ago.
hard time seeing Somnus losing this lane, but I'm ready to be blown away by this matchup. In my mind, Ember should not stand a chance against Kunkka until he gets a couple of levels up in terms
Alright.
of kill power. So
We'll see about
we'll
that.
see.
Yeah,
We'll see
we'll
who's
find
right.
out. And we'll find out where that Ember goes as well, of
LGD
course.
fanboy.
OG having that last pick. PSG.LGD looking to round out their composition.
Off lane, Chalice hero.
There's still Weaver.
There's still Weaver.
Oh, yeah.
Ember doesn't want to deal with the bug, really.
What else is there?
But then again, it's into the Rubik, so it still feels awkward.
Beastmaster.
That would be a flashback.
I think the Wraith King seems like a pretty nice choice in this game for Chalice, just because you want someone who can go in first and try to force RP or some sort of response and then build around that in the fight. Okay, this was not what I was expecting. But still, it's similar logic. It's somebody who goes first. Like, they need somebody to jump, and then they can follow up with global silence and take the fight like that. Either they get a quick kill, or they force an RP in response, and then they global, depending on how they look at it. This obviously gives OG the option to counterpick the bat in lane.
Jeez, they might even think about Jug, I guess. I mean, I know they just banned it. We're considering it. Would fit with like kind of their push strat too, but
yeah, he goes Battle Fury and kills everything.
Yeah, that's what Pastorell says.
That's really good.
It must be solid.
Anna always played the Ember safely in the qualifiers, right? Or did he play it mid too?
I think every time it was mid, it was Thompson, and they did that once or twice. But Anna always played it in the safe lane, as far as I can remember. But that's one thing about this Bat Rider. This is a matchup that Ember hates in lane, so they're gonna try.
Well, there's the Zeus.
Okay. All right.
I think they
OG
needed...
back to qualifiers, same strat.
There you go.
I thought you were flaming the final pick.
The #1 strat of their qualifier run, Zeus, Ember, and Mag. These three heroes, they picked a lot, and they were dominant, so this will be exciting.
Well, go back to what you know, and it's one game on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the final game of the grand final, and therefore the final game here at the International 2018. The draft is ready. Earthshaker is on PSG.LGD's side, but we'll see how Destiny unfolds this time.
I feel like Chalice is going to have such a good game.
Exciting for sure. I mean, kind of unique conversations as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from both coaches this time as we get ready for the last game.
All right, guys, so we figured we would take advantage of the fact that this is the final game. The players cannot hear what we are talking about out here, so we thought we would ask the coaches to tell us what they can about what we can expect from their teams. Tell us everything you got, man.
Well, you should expect magic, because this is what we did so far, right? The only thing that we were thinking about is if we pick Lina or Zeus in the end, and we had a little struggle there because like you need to be a top-song hero that is like comfortable. Lina has like disable. Zeus is kind of bad against Kanka because you get caught. You know, we don't have a proper save, and we wanted Zeus more because it has more value against the Terrorblade. So, I mean, everyone is happy with the draft. We're gonna go along with it.
357, same question. Helen is helping us translate as well. What can you tell us about your strategy for this final game?
这是第5盘了，选手听不到我们现在说的话，我们想听你最真实的想法。这第5把怎么样？
我觉得就是这个宙斯这个点，如果能处理好就还好吧。宙斯这个点蛮克 TB 的。
If we can take off the Zeus, then we're all good because Zeus is a counter against Terrorblade.
Confidence level?
自信心满吗？自信心满度。
很有自信，可以的。
Very confident. We can do it.
Confidence level?
Over 9,000.
All right, casters, this is your grand final. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Casey. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Game 5 of the TIA Grand Finals between PSG.LGD and OG. And it all starts right here. Boys, what do we reckon about this final draft from both teams that we're going to see in this Game 5?
I'm still resetting. I'm still resetting, honestly.
Oh, man, Game 4. Whew, what a game. But here in this Game 5, yeah, we have the Zeus versus Terrorblade, first phase Terrorblade. Not really vulnerable to that many picks, but as Professor was talking about, yeah, Zeus and Lina, one of the best. I don't think Thompson's Lina has been particularly fantastic, but his Zeus the other day was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to, in particular, just a lot of ults. Of course, like if they can get the big, if they can make the Magnus work. That's the big thing I'm looking for OG. Can they actually enable this Magnus? Can he enable their cores as well? And how much can they make happen in this bottom lane?
Seb has been spamming that hero.
He has been.
Plays Magnus nonstop. And this team is really good about capitalizing on those RPs. Normally there's like, you know, that 1 second delay. It's like, oh, he RP'd. But I think with Seb on the Magnus, they know when it's going to happen.
I think this tough lane should be extremely difficult for OG. This Batrider, unless he gets really pressured by the early treants, should be able to have a really good time versus Ember and Nature's Prophet. He can just run them down with a fissure if he gets some stacks up. Mid matchup, I think Somnus should be able to have a fine time, and they can even have the kill threat and rotations. But Thompson also shouldn't get killed by himself by any means as a Zeus.
No, we should expect to see Thompson have a much better time against Somnus compared to when he was playing his Invoke.
Absolutely.
I think this game, the team fight is very even on both sides. So you have the Magnus on one side, you have the Silencer to counter it, you have the Batrider, but he's only single target, relatively huge amount of AoE damage coming out from OG. So I think these lineups are fairly equal.
Yeah. The thing I like about OG's draft is they have, one thing I always look at when you're playing versus a Silencer is a way to get vision of where that Silencer is in the team fight. So they've got the Zeus ulti to do that, and then they can pierce the backlines with an Ember Spirit to get on top of it. So that can be pretty nice for them. But as for LGD, they do have a lot of ways of initiating fights. They have their Kunkka to start it, and then they have the follow-up with Global, Batrider, and Earthshaker. It's a lot of ways to actually initiate and counter-initiate.
I think Kunkka has also been maybe his best hero of this tournament. He's just been destroying on that. And it is a pretty easy lane for Zeus, but actually even in CS.
Yeah, I think his Kunkka and his Storm for me have been unbelievable. As we'll probably see the similar build that he's been doing on that Kunkka, maybe not double bracer, but at least one of those bracers, and this time he's going to go for like the magic wand. X, he needs some heavy harass, but we'll be okay.
And a lot of potential for X-Nova this game to have a huge impact. We've seen from the Silencers through and through this competition so many times these sort of big team fights put to a halt. You've got to be careful if you're this Ember, or if you are, of course, Seb on the Magnus, in terms of holding on to the RP in top lane. Bit of a block off here onto Ana. He's got the stick charges. He does have 3 stacks of sticky napalm upon him as Chalice diving in. Gets that first blood. Tanks up a bit of the tower, but he's able to get his way out of it. It's PSG.LGD. Out to a strong start in his top lane.
Yeah, a little bit of a risky move by Notel. He TP'd, but he didn't TP back home. He TP'd to pull the wave. And Ana was just let out there by his lonesome.
They have to go for those type of kills constantly in the top lane, because Batrider, you don't really last hit that great in the laning phase. You're just going to get your last hits through your Firefly once you're able to do some stacks and whatnot. So they have to play very aggressive up here whenever they see an opportunity if Ana steps up too far. Bottom lane going very well for OG. Seb is doing a great job with that Empower. They're really messing with Ame's last hits with the Fade Bolt as well. You see he's got that massively reduced damage. He's sitting at 40 compared to Seb's 80. So just making it that much easier for the Magnus to put the pressure onto Ame.
Yeah, the Quelling Blade can only do so much for him. And next Nova, I mean, he doesn't have any points in plays with Wisdom, and he can't really harass Seb. Magnus is actually surprisingly tanky in lane. Yeah. Really hard to harass out.
He's going to use the Metamorphosis to try and catch up in the CS. Get a bit of harass onto Jax and Seb if possible. And try and close that gap between himself and Seb, as you talk about. Seb with that lead. Second highest in CS level with his Ember Spirit at the moment.
This is not an easy Magnus game, by the way. As soon as he jumps in, he can get lifted, or he can get lassoed, he can get fissured, he can get echoed. There's so many counterplays, especially Global Silence. So I wouldn't feel super comfortable as a Magnus here. You really want someone else to jump in, like the Ember.
Thompson steps up a bit far in the mid lane. FY as well as Somnus, they're catching on him, and there's boots on that Shaker.
Should have the catch here with the fish up into the X-Mark Torrent combo. They've caught Thompson. Will he dodge the Ancients? He won't. Somnus gets the hit in with the Tidebringer. He has the damage to claim the second kill here for PSG.LGD.
FY has been doing a really good job controlling both the runes. 2-minute rune, he got the haste. 4-minute rune, makes sure that Zeus can't get it. He did rush a bottle and won't be able to get that regeneration rune that is generally a lane win for the Zeus.
Yeah, FY's got it, so he can even keep his pressure on this map at the moment. He's getting close to Arcane Boots already on the Shaker. As Jarex in some trouble here.
Fisher block not quite successful, but it doesn't look like it may matter with the damage coming out between the two of them. Slow from the curses.
Still has the regen.
FY one more slam with the totem.
Full mana.
And they're trying to go around maybe to try and get a kill on Chalice up here, but it doesn't matter if the Shaker's there or not. They can't get the kill.
Yes.
Bounty runes. LG looks like they're going to be the ones to claim 3.
Top lane, a bit of a dive going on to Ana. He's got 5 stacks at the moment on him. No tail will TP, and Chalice is tanking quite a bit of the tower. Stick charges are there from Ana.
He's living.
As Ana will be fine there. I don't think, by the looks of it, Chalice checked the stick charges on Ana as he was A-okay. Mid lane at the same time, Thompson getting gone on. FY's there with the combo. Helping out Somnus secure that kill onto the Zeus.
You kind of expect this from Zeus. Just because he dies doesn't mean the lane's going poorly. It's actually kind of expected, I would say. But really, he'll just contribute later on in the team fights. He's not quite level 6 yet.
I mean, that one death that he did have, it does start to hurt you because you get that level disadvantage.
FY again.
FY making those moves all over the place.
Absolutely setting up for another kill here as they chase down Jerax. More +2 for the Silencer. Top lane as well. Chalice runs down Ana. It's 6-1. The kills starting to really build up in this first 6 minutes of gameplay from PSG.LGD.
They don't have a real good way to protect their Ember Spirit in that top lane. If anything, they need the Rubik there to help him to pull that aggressiveness that's coming out from Chalice off of him.
And they're not slowing down this Earthshaker's farm at all. He has 500 gold and arcane boots. If he gets an early blink, I mean, I'm really scared for OG.
Yep.
Now Seb.
Seb is in a lot of trouble here too.
He is. They're coming looking for him in the trees. FY's there, ready for him, waiting for him.
He was right on top of him. Oh, man.
3-0-3 on this Earthshaker already at the 6.5 minute mark.
The power of the Shaker, we've seen it not only in this finals, but throughout the whole tournament. FY, one of, if not the best Shaker in the game at the moment. And he's certainly showing it here in the game.
Mid lane, Jerax is here.
Trying to set up, buying time for No-Tail to come through. Somnus does get the bow tap, but he's already dead. Thunder God's Wrath from Thompson will burst him down. They did send 4 heroes in for this one, though, OG. Seb also joining in the middle lane.
They get the Kunkka kill, which is great, but now Ame's just got an open lane to himself. Now there's no pressure being put on this Tower Blade at all, who actually recovered really well. 36 and 14 last hits.
Yep, and they expend a Zeus ult too, so not too much kill potential in the side lanes. They still have that double combo though from the Wrath of Nature.
Oh. Just in range there to dispel the smoke straight up. Jerax.
Jerax is pulling an X-Nova right now, right? Just smoking through with just putting down some words, getting ready for the next movements that are coming out.
And again, Somnus having a very scary start to this game. He's top on the CS. We saw what he was able to do with a good opening on his Kunkka earlier in this series. And so far, he's on the right track to offering a repeat performance.
Zeus also has to be careful, not only the global, but the curse. The curse really hurts Zeus.
It's true.
Especially because it's been buffed so many times.
Ana is level 6 here, has a Remnant.
A little harder for Chalice to find those kills now. Does have that lasso up, as No-Tail. He's been found out. He'll pop the Sprout down, but he'll be cut through by Somnus as another kill for Somnus in that middle lane.
Yeah, he blindly TP to try and steal the rune.
Yep.
He did get the regen.
They do send Thompson down here to put a bit of harassment onto Ame. But Ame's behind the tower. Instant TP comes in from FY as well, so OG can't dive.
They can't put a lot of pressure on the Terror Blade here, though, with the Zeus as well as that Shockwave Spank coming out from that Magnus. They can slow down his farm a bit and force that reaction from LGD at least.
Look at this, 8.5 minutes in. Somnus doing a lot of damage to this mid-tier 1 tower. The pressure that he's putting on, incredibly impressive in this middle lane.
They really can't afford to give up this tower right now. I think both the Shaker and the Batrider, they're on their way to their blinks, and just that tower is going to make it that much easier.
Top lane Chalice playing around with that. He's holding on to Lasso for now. Now he'll pop it, feeling that he's got the damage to do the kill. And Ana. Stick charge back up, able to get away mid lane. Seb comes in with a rotation, pops the RP down onto Somnus. They've got the burst. The setup's there. Takes 4 of them, but it does get them the kill on Somnus. And with sort of how beefy he was, it did look like they did need all 4 to get that kill.
I think Somnus did spend his gold before he died, or pretty close to all of it.
Almost all of it, yeah. I mean, those kills start to add up. You know, they have to commit 4 heroes, but it's time off the map, right? That's where 10 more seconds where the Kunkka's not there to be threatening kills all over the place, and Thompson gets a little bit of a break on the Zeus to not have to worry about dying.
And they're focusing on him because they know they can deal with the Terror Blade with the Zeus later if it gets to that point of the game. So if they have to choose in between these 2 cores, it's definitely going to be the Kunkka.
Jerax.
FY goes for the setup. The Fisher into the combo. Torrent will be dodged. No-Tail's actually going to TP in for this one as Somnus beats down onto Jerax. Jerax able to get himself away. No, he's not! The Tidebringer from Somnus finds the kill. FY walks in for the Echo Slam. The silence is there on Seb. Seb's coming to the fight, but he's instantly going to get sent out with a slap as FY chunks him down with the Enchant Totem. There's No-Tail also in trouble. Chalice diving on forwards. Kill after kill. Ana, can he do anything in return? He comes in with the slide. The Remnant as well, looking for X-Nova and Somnus. He can't quite finish it off, and Ame, he's turned up, and he'll be able to take down Ana.
What? what a collapse by LGD. Even how does Ahmed just show up there?
12-3 now, and a 3K lead very early on for PSG.LGD.
Look at this item build coming out from Chalice too. I thought he was going for the Blink Dagger, but it looks like he has Atos queued up. He keeps switching it up, but
that
Atos to deal with the Ember?
Yeah, that could be pretty cool.
That's gonna be pretty nasty. I mean, that's so much disable versus him. I think this is only because FY is having such a great game. They can rely on him to initiate into fights.
He's so close to the Blink Dagger.
And then Chalice, it makes him incredibly tanky on this Bat Rider. If he just charges in and you get a fissure, the follow-up afterwards, because FY is going to have that blink so early on, it can definitely be an interesting approach here to just catch out all the time.
Jerax shows himself mid, but they've got the catch ready to deal with him. X-Mark into the combo. Jerax, another casualty here in the middle lane for OG. Is PSG.LGD, they want to finish off this tower. TPs are coming in. Seb, can he have the damage here to help bring this man down? He'll pop the RP. He's not messing around. The torrent comes out. Chalice will still fall, though. OG get the kill. Again, cost them a lot. They keep that tier 1 alive. They can look for the deny.
Yeah, they can secure the deny, which could be beneficial for them here. But as all this is happening, Ame is not getting pressured, and FY pretty much has that Blink Dagger, but they do at least have the Zeus to counteract that a bit.
This is a scarily quick Blink Dagger here for FY. We've already seen what he can do. He's 4-0-6 at the moment at 11 minutes in on his Shaker.
With Arcane Boots, this has to be one of the fastest Blinks I've ever seen.
In Game 5 of the Grand Finals, nonetheless, as well.
4-0-6 already.
And he's ahead of Seb. Seb also going for the same build, the Arcane Boots into the Blink Dagger, but he's going to be a few minutes behind. And I don't see any smoke on the side of LGD, but let's see where they...
Wow.
12-minute Blink Arcanes on FY.
Nahaz is probably losing it back there.
Echo stand back up in a couple of seconds as well. He'll look to set up top at the moment. No one up there on OG.
He can look to set up pretty easily now for Ana all over the place. Ana is very easily killable with a +1 with that Earthshaker. And they even have the global on top of that if they need to just commit even more. So
they need more time on OG. I think you really need, like, max levels of power, blink on your heroes, Nimbus Cloud on Zeus before your team fight really starts to become a little bit scary. Right now, with no BKBs out on the field, global silence is king.
Yeah, I mean, they need to have a lot coming up from their 3 cores, right? Because Rubik and Nature's Prophet, they're not going to be able to contribute too much into the team fights versus what LGD has.
Especially when Jerax has 0 points up in null field right now. He went for a 4 Fate Bolt build. So team fights, not really OG's strong suit.
Top tower is under attack.
So they will be very content to trade towers. I think this definitely benefits OG at this point, especially when Seb is still farming about 700 gold away from
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower.
Seb, once again with a rotation towards the middle lane, has RP available.
Has fallen.
How early do you think Ame needs BKB this game?
I was wondering that as well. It depends on how much he wants to really be involved in all the fights with this team, is what I'm thinking here. He might just go for it as the next item, though.
Can he rely on the rum?
I don't think it's a good idea. It takes time for it to pass through you, right? So it's like,
but your Shaker, you have global silence, you have Shaker Blink. I think it might be a risk worth taking. I mean, Ame, he's not the safest of carry players. As we saw last game, he went to Fusel before BKB very early on. So he has nothing in his quick buy yet, but just want to get a feel for his BKB timing.
Yeah.
This top. They go. Global. They dive. Global to set up the jump in from FY. As Ana caught out underneath the tier 2 tower. Maybe they can get more as well as Chalice hides onto Jerax. TP will come in from No-Tail, but Chalice commits with the lasso, dragging No-Tail away into the clutches of the rest of LGD as they'll surround him and find a second kill for Ame.
And Next Nova just quietly sneaking by. He's like, yeah, give me all that int, 12 int already for him. Just sitting in the back, staying alive. That's what his job is.
And look at the change of builds coming out from maybe in this game. Not going for that Shadow Blade, actually just building a hood for his team. Well, for himself at least, for now. If he doesn't want to upgrade it, I don't know if he will, but...
I think in the other games, they had BKB early, they won the team fights, and then late game, they actually got punished, I would say, for buying BKB so early. This game, switching it around a little bit, and the Atos is already up for the Bat Rider, so that's another threat that the Ember Spirit needs to worry about. Normally, he's like, okay, Shaker, yeah, he has a blink, and there's global silence, but I should be okay most of the time. Now there's 3 heroes that can kill him.
Yep. And Ame is going for the greedy build, like you were mentioning. He is going to go for that Yasha, since he has all those different forms of protection from his teammates.
A decent amount ahead as well. 15 minutes, 5k advantage. PSG.LGD hitting all these timings, and on top of that hurt, he's already 1200 towards the Shadow Blade Somnus.
Ana showing in that mid lane.
And look for the setup, straight from the turret. They get the connection into the boat, but the Sleight of Fist actually going to be able to come out in time. It may not matter though, X-Nova's in, but the Remnant's out. He'll get himself back to safety, Ana.
What a great sleight.
Yeah, dodges everything there. During all this, though, the warding
there's
coming
the blink
out again.
coming out from Seb. It has it been scattered out? No, the Zerber ward's on the low ground. They don't see this coming at all.
Let's see if Seb can get a big jump. Chalice and FY rather close to one another at the moment as they hide behind that tower. Seb.
Look at FY's positioning, though. He is so deep in the trees. Perfect place.
And they go. For Chalice, the
Chains
chains will
hit.
catch him. The root is going to be down onto the Ember Spirit. Fisher as well onto Seb. You know that he's got that blink. The Urn's down on him as well as the curse. Seb's got to skewer himself away. He cannot blink in.
That's not the way you want your blink dagger to go, though.
He's trying to TP away. Is he going to get out? He is. No, he's not. He does not. He ticks down in base. As they'll find themselves Jerax as well. Global silence being used as they'll chase down the Rubik. Two more kills for LGD. Thompson found in the river.
That was just perfect positioning coming out from FY over there. He was ready. Even if he had the RP, I don't think he would have been able to get the skewer off.
They are absolutely crushing this opening PSG.LGD.
I mean, they're feeling very confident because they're looking and they're like, there's a Rubik and an Nature's Prophet on the team. The team fights are 100% in their favor. It's all going to be up to Seb if he can land those big RPs, but it's so hard, especially with all these wards. LGD always having vision in every situation before LG's even split. That was OG's best chance because it was not spotted.
And Zeus, normally he's pretty safe to go around D-Ward. Not this game. He built a defensive item first on the Yules. So his offensive power, normally you have like Aetherland's Veil at this point in the game. His team fight potential is simply not that great.
Bottom tower is under attack.
So what do OG need to do? How do they win team fights? How do they stall this game out? How do they wait for Empower, Ember Spirit to kind of take over the game?
I think they have to be able to play around the global. They can't just be waiting every single time for LGD to have every single ulti available. They have to be able to use, I think they have to be pushing lanes out a lot harder as well, even risking some lives from each other to try to set up these gank plays. Because if they just wait for RP in every single fight, there's no way they're ever going to be able to outpace LGD. Because they're just going to have more team fight in the occasions when RP is on cooldown.
Bottom lane. Looking for the tower blade. TP's coming in. Can they kill him in time? Arme quick with the turn and the Sunder. He's back up to full. As now Ana rooted down with the Rod of Ados. You get the Sleight of Fist off. They do have the control onto Arme. Can they kill him in time? Arme will fall. But so will Ana shortly. He's got the Flame Guard giving him some resistance, but he'll still go down. Thompson using himself up into the air. They found two so far, but Thompson's brought back into the boat from Somnus. They'll get themselves a third. They'll look to No-Tail as No-Tail fishes to the face from FY. As again, PSG.LGD just coming out on top of these trades. OG tried to get aggressive onto Arme, but the backup's there in time from LGD as they'll take the favorable trade, 4-2.
I do think that's what OG needs to be doing, though. They need to be trying to take these fights, even if they're a little over-aggressive and all. They can't just allow LGD to wait and wait for their ultis to come up every single time, because now they've got Global and the Earthshaker ulti as well, which makes the fights just impossible for OG.
No hesitation there from Arme, as you saw, with a quick Sunder. Thompson able to get a decent amount of burst out, but it's just as soon as Somnus turns up the high, he hits a huge tiebreaker, I believe, onto 3 of them there.
They didn't have the Magnus during all this, though. You see Seb is trying to come into the fight, but they've already been outnumbered because of the position where they're in.
It's very typical for this Magnus. It looks like he wants to build a Greaves to deal with the global silence, but that means he's not going to have Shadow Bleed. If they find him, they're instantly going to kill him. They're going to blow everything they can on Magnus. Without RP, they do not win the fight. Maybe they can steal. I mean, there's actually no huge spells to steal. You're not going to be able to steal global silence at this point. Echo is, so-so on a Rubik without Blink Dagger. So.
It's like Fissure and any of the, maybe
Fissure.
the Kunkka Boat. The Kunkka Boat's also pretty significant if you can get it off, but.
Oh yeah, Kunkka Boat is huge, but I don't think anything compares to the RP.
Yeah.
Bottom lane. No-Tail trying to set up onto Somnus. They'll Remnant forward with Ana. The boat's already out though for Somnus. Somnus trying to look into the trees. He's hunting actually down No-Tail. The global silence comes out. Ana not quite able to get on top of X-Nova as X-Nova keeps his distance. Somnus just turning and beating down on No-Tail. No-Tail will go down as well as X-Nova. 1-for-1 at the moment. The sentry's down here from OG. They have eyes on Somnus. Seb still holding him for the side. Then there'll be a buyback from No-Tail. The boat, the stolen boat, the RP coming through. They're jumping in. The FY's there with the slam, ready to hold off to the fight, but Chalice is so low. Chalice is going to go down. PSG.LGD, they've lost 3. FY with the TPL won't make it. The Sleight of Fist, the change. Ana catches out the Shaker. Can he TP back in time before the curse kills him? Yes, he can!
Well, that's exactly what you talked about, the stolen boat. The run buff on Ana just pushed them over the edge for that fight.
literally at the perfect time too. The boat comes through as FY goes in, so that damage reduction comes into play immediately. That was huge.
What a fight for them to take there. You saw FY jumping in with a slam. If they'd have lost that fight, OG, it could have been just a little too much. At 20 minutes in, they were falling far and far behind. No-Tail, I don't know if he meant to trap himself. They looked like he tried to block them off between the two of them. I don't know if it would have saved him anyway, though, as they still find the kill. No-Tail taken down. We'll see this once again here.
Great steal. The boat right there, as we see the immediate RP. Everything came out at the same time. It's like RP, Earthshaker ulti, as well as that ghost ship.
The boat gets on all three of them.
Yep.
And another great sight coming out from Ana. He dodged just that little bit of damage.
The boat buff as well on Ana. If that wasn't there, everything sort of just coming into place for OG to be able to take that team fight. But still,
I don't think Ame was involved in that fight, though. So, you know, LGD doing their typical 45. Sometimes it was maybe on the Alchemist assignments with Ame on the Terrorblade, and he is looking to get involved very soon, about 300 gold away from his BKB. And I think that fight, also, they singled out the Silencer very early on, making him blow global, and then after that, go in with the RP.
Yeah. I think also it's like Ame didn't have meta available. If he has meta, sometimes he does show up for the fights before the BKB, but now he's got both available, so this is go time for LGD. Even if they... How long's their Echo? So Echo and Global are going to be up in about 20 seconds. So yeah, they're definitely ready to make a fight happen.
They're smoking, but Chalice does not have his blink target. He has to go all the way back, so he's way further behind than the rest of his team.
So they can get the catch onto Ana. Fisher, jump forward from FY. They've got the chain stun. Is there any way they can play his way out? The Global's coming through. The mech will be popped here. Ana's up into the air. Chalice looks around him, but he gets the slide out. Can he get over to the Remnant as well? No. There's the jump, the RP. They'll get the kill onto Ana. Seb tries to skewer the two of them to the side, but now he's stuck on his own on the low ground. Ame's there on the high ground. Pops the BKB. No messing around for this Terrorblade. As Ame will help take a second here for LGD.
That split was so good. Seb was just waiting for that RP, but he was only able to get one. He thought that they would all clump up around the Ember Spirit.
As they'll look to capitalize on this metamorphosis as much as possible. Straight into the pit they go.
Man, I'm really loving this Atos on the Batrider too. It's just making Ana's life that much more difficult in these fights. He's just having to use the Slight to try to buy some time while he's inside that Atos, but then he comes back still controlled.
Well, OG may be looking to fight. There is no Remnant out for on the Ember Spirit.
Do get X-Nova on the side of an FY. He jumps in with the Echo Slam. Jarrett is going to be there with the telekinesis, but already they've lost No-Tail. And the X-Mark, it's there onto Thompson, who yules himself up. He will be able to keep himself away. Somnus is hunting, though. The Thunder God's Wrath comes through. Let's see Somnus. LGD straight back towards the pit. Oh, FY. Oh, he's losing that fight to the Roshan. Will smoke his way out.
They need a shrine really fast. Ana going to see this Rosh at 20%. Do they really want to leave it there?
It's so low.
No RP up.
No meta on LGD either, but they've got their boat. They've got the strong Kunkka.
And Lasso's almost up, too. This is time for Chalice to shine.
Looking too hard, OG.
They have vision, but...
FY?
They don't get the Fisher out in time for Jerax to catch FY. Somnus, Chalice there in the pit. He tries to jump forward, his head, but instantly FY's there with the reaction. The enchant totem's down. Seb's been cursed.
Forward.
X-Nova trying to go for it. They do manage to get the chains out onto the Batrider. The Courier actually being taken down here, but they've lost one, they've lost two, they've lost three. Buybacks coming out from the two of them. OG, they've got the double kill for Ana. They're pushing LGD away from this pit. X-Nova does not have buyback. Roshan still stands.
Only 12 seconds left for Global. LGD kind of need to reset, but the Rosh is so low.
They have nearly got RP back up on Seb. As both teams ready to fight around the pit. Seb, can he find a chance with the RP? Chalice on the high ground. They're going to head into the pit, OG. They're confident, knowing Seb can sit there on the high ground, ready with the counterplay. Ame getting sprouted. Chalice looks to make a play, jumps in, immediately going for it with the lasso. Has he got the control to get the damage out? He can. That's going to be Ana dead, but Ana buys back straight away. Ame moving in with the BKB. Roshan's still alive throughout this all. They've lost Thompson, the Slight, the chains, the Remnant across. They'll get the kill onto Chalice, but now Ana, he's in the middle of it all. Uses himself up the Flame Guard, ticking FY down like the Sleight of Fist. The RP, Seb, he's got the control onto Ame. As OG, they fight three. They look towards Somnus, surrounding him in the pit. Somnus, he'll go down as well. The buyback from Ana, securing the fight here for OG. There's only X-Nova left alive, but not for long. They chase him down, they get the team-wide triple kill for Ana as he buys back, plays his way back over into the pit, secures OG the team fight and himself the Aegis.
now they have the huge offensive power with the level 4 empower and the offensive no field coming out from Rubik. Now there's just way too much damage. Yeah, they have the hood on the Kunkka, but that's really just not saving anyone at all. He has a lot of HP. He's going for his heart build, but terrible versus Zeus.
And Jerax, during all of this, had Fissure, just constantly throwing those fissures in through the backlines. Sab able to find the opportunity after everybody dies. Global doesn't connect on, it connects on everybody, not in the best situation though, because they were all split up. So Somnus was stuck in the pit there for a while. And with all this wards on the high ground too, they were able to see whatever approach that FY wanted to take to get into it. So he was getting controlled on the Shaker.
And Ember's getting a lot of items out. He fought back, but I think he definitely came out on top there. And keep in mind, this is amplified by that Empower.
If he's able to get that Linken's, he's going to be so much safer. This Yule's pickup has saved him time and time again in these fights. With that Linken's, he has a lot more liberty.
I think they need a BKB on the Bat Rider too. He went for the Atos, which slows down his Blink Dagger, and it slows down his BKB even more.
Yeah, I'm surprised Somnus didn't go for the BKB either, going just for that straight hard. I mean, he loves the item, but...
Oh, no cell. TP straight in here, right by the shrine.
Fissure stolen.
They do, they've got the setup onto FY. In comes down over the Remnant, the Slight. A fist to find FY, and OG, they're seeing if they can find more.
Arcane Rune on Ember Spirit. No way they take this fight.
Seb, can you get the jump in? They've got the Yules up onto X-Nova Anna. Able to walk in, close the gap onto the Silencer. As OG taking 2 down, now leading in this game. 4K net worth advantage for the side, and still an Aegis.
Look at the experience drop too. It was both about 5K for LGD as OG make a huge turnaround.
We do have the Blink Dagger on the Terrorblade for LGD so that he can't blink it, but I mean, the reflection is not great here at all. It's actually one of the worst reflection games that I've seen, so
yeah,
if he goes in and blinks, it's not super scary, and there's a ton of right click coming out from Ember Spirit. There's a BKB piercing disable with the Magnus, so I don't know. I'm not confident in this Terrorblade being able to take over this team fight.
I think they're just trying to, like, the 3 different Blink Daggers to start the fight with that Global and just try to blow up and get on top of that Zeus right away. Get into that backline. I mean, the Rubik and the Zeus are really starting to be quite an issue for them.
Chalice is in with the opener, straight in with the lasso. The tower will fall, but they'll drag back the Ember Spirit into the torrent. Cut him down with the Tidebringer. He's dead watch, but on the side, they find Arme. Arme's dead for 60. Still alive at the moment, and all the Yules!
Echo gets
dodge! Anna up into the end, dodging the Echo Slam. Somnus, he's trapped here in the Sprout. OG, they'll slowly punch down the Kunkka. The stolen Fissure, Jerax sets up onto FY. OG take 3 and up into the base. 28 minutes in, OG are threatening the high ground of PSG.LGD. This tier 3 tower going down, no buyback on FY, no buyback on Arme.
Arme just getting caught in the back lines of that fight, and then that Yule Scepter on
Yeah, it's just way too many defensive abilities at this point.
Yeah.
Especially with Jerax. I mean, they started the fight on FY, got the Fissure, and after that, it's nearly impossible to kill Ana.
I mean, Jerax has been getting literally the most ideal steals in the last few situations. That bottom fight where they got the Ghost Ship, these last 2 fights where he's just had Fissure every single time for his team.
And he doesn't exactly know when to use Global. There's not exactly like the greatest point because they're not initiating with the Magnus. Ana's jumping in. Ana's getting jumped on. He's the one that's starting off the fight, and you don't really want to Global because they have the Greaves up now on the Magnus. They have the Yules on the Ember Spear, so he can protect himself from that.
They've got the full Ags on Zeus.
Full Aghanim's now.
This is time.
Everything is coming together here for OG.
Just took that one Roche.
Yep. I mean, we're getting a Rax. Look at everybody just picked up a full set of items. Getting close to a Lotus Orb now on the Furion 2, or on the Nature's Prophet. They've got the Guardian Greaves going for that pipe, and on Seb, just everybody has acquired so much after that last situation.
And FY in particular has slowed down. He had, what, 12-minute Blink Dagger? Since then, he's picked up an Ogre Axe. That's it, in 17 minutes.
And OG's they're looking to fight here. They feel strong. They know that this Echo Slam is still on cooldown for a bit.
RP is back up. RP's there, they look for the setup onto Arme. They get the chains onto him, jump forward, Seb! Oh, the RP's just on the tip, pulls him in, but it's not enough to buy time to kill him. There's Arme, there with the turnaround, past the Sunder onto Anna. Anna's able to remnant out to the side. Chalice hiding in the trees, Thompson Starting to throw out the lightning as Ame. Chalice backing away. Skewer forward from Seb as he clears out the trees. Chalice still with a Firefly, getting himself away. Will jump himself away from the Nimbus. Backs himself up. X-Nova's got to be careful. He's incredibly low. They're looking to set up with the Torrent. Ame has been sprouted. The stolen Fisher for Jarex. Out onto Ame, but then finds it with the slam. Is it enough? No, it's not. LGD, they've lost 2 yet again, but they have managed to find 2 in return. Anna's still alive. The Flame Guard keeping it fine again. The Sleight of Fist cuts down a second double kill for Anna. Chalice surrounded by 7 Anna here in the trees as OG get the team wipe.
Ana has been unbelievable with these sleight of fists.
Oh, Anna Ember Spirit, a thing that over the years we saw it before he had his break, and now back here at the International 2018, he's doing what we've seen him do many times before.
And OG's ready to keep going. They know that pretty much everything was expended by LGD there. The meta's on cooldown, the global's on cooldown, the echo's on cooldown. It's their time to shine.
Straight down the mid lane they go. Somnus dead for 40 seconds. The Kunkka does not have buyback for this defense.
They're having to use the Echo to keep Ana down, and that is not what you want from your team fight, and Ana's not even dying in these fights.
It's a tier 3 tower gone.
Even for this next fight, Jarex actually stole Ghost Ship at the end of it. So he has this available.
There's a full pipe now, and there's the setup, the Nimbus, bam, the stolen bow, X-Nova gone. Buys back, but OG have taken a second melee rack sip and a second range racks. 20,000 net worth lead at 31 minutes.
And they still want to keep going. They know those.
Absolutely do.
They know everything's still on cooldown.
Check the RP timing, it's nearly there again. It is. It's back up.
This could be the last hurrah for LGD here now as OG has pushed this game.
Radiant's top shrine.
And they're forced to go full defensive items on LGD because they've just been dying constantly in these fights, and there's this Zeus just throwing out tremendous damage output. And on the flip side, you have Seb. He does not force to go BKB. He can go full team fight items with the Greaves and the Pipe, and that goes a long way to Ana not dying.
LGD will have some time at least not having that last Rax be pushed. They will have all their abilities available again, but heavily on the back foot now as we see that gold advantage and that network and that experience advantage heavily in OG's favor.
They're in a really tough spot right now. If they jump on it with everything and he has Remnant out and he buys back, they're all dead and they lose the game and the international. So I don't exactly know what LGD's plan is here to try and win the next fight. Maybe jump Magnus because he can't be there in the fight. Maybe jump the Zeus, but I don't think jumping Ember will win them this fight.
If they can somehow jump the Ember and not have to use absolutely everything to kill him, then that's gonna be the dream, but it's been proven to be so hard versus Ana as he's just played this in such a good way.
And Jarex still has the Ghost Ship.
Has fallen.
Here we go. OG with the smoke.
They've got all the momentum pushing in from those waves.
They power down the mid lane. Thompson and Anna leading the charge. Somnus on the front at the moment. He's back up to the high ground. PSG.LGD playing careful, making sure to not get jumped upon. As OG hide in the shadows, waiting to pounce. PSG.LGD won't fall for this one as of yet.
But they're getting suffocated. They're not able to walk outside of the base at all.
No tell. Oh, he drops the ward, but the sentry was down. They knew he was there. They'll catch him hiding in the trees. So now with the Nature's Prophet gone for 85, PSG.LGD can relax a little bit more.
But Roshan's almost up. They have the Nimbus Cloud inside to scout as soon as it comes up. And LGD, I don't think they can take a fight if they have the Aegis and Cheese.
Yep, I think they have to contest that next Rosh. So we see them, they're gonna be smoking out.
It's their best chance.
Coming in though.
It's super obvious now that the mid wave hasn't been touched, and even more obvious.
And now they know.
They know exactly where they are, and OG are nowhere to be found, and sadly, Roche is not even up.
And gets hit by the Nimbus as well, so. And a scan to throw on top.
Oh, there's an Arcane Rune on the Zeus. Oh. That is one of the worst possible scenarios for LGD.
Oh, and a full Octarine on Ana.
Octarine on Ana. Good luck controlling this Ember Spirit now. Level 23 as well. As Ana charges forward. Finds himself the change. The boat is going to head over towards his way, but he uses up. His Linkers has been pot set. Goes with the RP, dragging back the Kunkka. Can they kill off Somnus? He's very tanky with that heart. It looks like he'll be fine. They'll get the challenge jump with the lasso onto the Ember Spirit, the FY Echo Slam as well, onto Ana. Can they actually kill him off? They don't have the damage. Ana's able to get the Slider Fist out. There'll be a buyback from Thompson as Jerax, the Solar Fissure onto 2. Sets up for the double kill. Ana, he's found 2, and OG looking for more. Seb trying to hunt down Somnus. The dust upon him. Seb's got the skewer. He's got the blink up. Can he peel him back towards his teammates? He can't quite catch him. Somnus will be able to back up a no-tail. He's in with the Sprout, the chains. The setup's there. Ana closing in. He'll be forced to the side. Somnus, can he get himself back to the fountain? He'll turn. He'll clean out the summons there with the Tidebringer hit. But he's stuck in the tree line. Ana just going for the kill. Is Somnus still alive? Get themselves now a bigger target, potentially Arme. Arme, he's sprouted. He has got something. Can he get it off? He can't. Arme cut down as the tier 4's now being taken by OG. There's all the time people get Chalice. It's another down. OG, can they get Somnus? He's doing his best to hold. 10 seconds before he's got teammates back in. Seb peeling Somnus away from the fountain. Anna's on top of it. Somnus down to half health. He's trying to retrieve for the change. They get themselves another Somnus taken down. Azame with a BKB reflection. Ana starting to be forced back. They have got X-Nova and FY back in the game now. No Echo Slam or Global. The Ancient is exposed. As OG, the Nimbus down, the shockwave from Seb gets themselves another. They're onto the Ancient. OG. OG.
They've done it. They have done it.
Have done it. The power of flowers and friendship. Have done it here, ladies and gentlemen. Your grand champions of TIA. It's OG. Can you believe it? OG, a team tipped by some to be the 18th most likely to win TI, and they've just gone and done it.
They don't believe it. You look at them in the booth, they look
They've
stunned.
just gone and done it.
That was
a team that was shaken up months before this event.
They just reformed the team.
Thompson, he's only been playing for a couple of days.
His earnings were $3,000 before this.
Oh my goodness. OG.
Congratulations
to
OG. They deserved it. They played out of their minds in this entire tournament. They didn't follow anyone else's strategy. Maybe that was a stepping stone.
They just played their own game, and it was miraculous.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, OG, your TIA champions!
Wow. What a game and what a match. OG have done it. They've completed the miracle run. Thompson, his first professional LAN event. No-tail, you can see just the joy overcoming him with his teammates Seb and Jerax. Truly a redemption story here at the International. OG have completed their destiny. Ana, Thompson, Seb, Jerax, No-tail. Now the 5 that are the champions.
The Phoenix from the ashes! They rise again and again and again! From the open quarterfinals! From the open quarterfinals, your champions! OG, the Aegis is yours! The Aegis is yours! Get your ass over that 1 second! You're a TI champion, No-tail.
I guess it's real. It's fucking real.
Breathe it in, take your time. Hundreds of thousands of people here.
I'm I feel so blessed. I feel so blessed.
Thompson, $3,000 in your pocket. You come to TI, you get an email from Notel, you're a TI champion. What? I wish we could keep going, but go get the Aegis! It's yours! Rogers Arena! Cinderella's story ain't got nothing on this! OG! Your TIA champion! Prize pool in esports history from the Open qualifier. What the fuck? An absolutely beautiful moment. You'll see more from them at the Queen Elizabeth Theatre tonight. Chobra, I think the crowd is saying it all.
Indeed. OG, that's all we can hear here in the Rogers Arena. And they've done it. They've completed the Cinderella story. And better than that as well. I mean, on our panel, we have Trent Nahaza Shiver, and the story